A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 216th episode of the Together for Education webinars brought to you by Notebook. As we proudly completed our 200th episode recently, going down the memory lane, it was back in 2020 when we, here at Notebook, decided to launch a platform for the educators to connect meaningfully on discussing problems that are facing with the rising need of digital education and online learning and arrive at common solutions. Little did we know that day about this platform growing so big, where principals and educators from across the length and breadth of the country have participated over so many sessions. We thank you all once again for supporting us, and we would look forward to your gracious presence in all our upcoming episodes. We have discussed extremely vibrant topics here, like digital learning, NEP and assessment, extracurricular topics like sports and theatre, topics like school finance and management, and even evolved topics like child psychology. Our today's topic is promotion of innovation. Innovation is often considered to be a comprehensive ecosystem of student engagement, creativity, collaboration, teamwork, and every other trait or activity that goes in educating a child. Let's hear from the experts today. Our first speaker on this topic is Mr. Philip Burrett. Mr. Burrett retired as a deputy headmaster from the illustrious Doon School in Dehradun after 44 years of serving in education across various institutions. Mr. Burrett served the Doon School as housemaster, head of department, dean of activities, dean of student welfare, deputy headmaster, second master, and acting headmaster with great distinction. He also carried out a visioning exercise for the Doon School in the year 2011 through an in-depth study of a number of British public schools and various schools in the US. Mr. Burrett qualified as a leadership trainer at the Wellington College, UK in the year 2000. He is also an athlete, an adventurer, and a naturalist. And we here at Notebook are truly privileged to have Mr. Burrett as a senior advisor. Sir, a very good evening. Thank you so much for being here today, and over to you, please.
Thank you very much, Gauri, for that introduction, and a very good evening to everyone there, our panelists, everyone at Notebook, and our guests. Thank you for this topic. I did a little reading before I put some words down. I looked at us, as a nation, we are probably the world's best copiers. We can imitate anything. We can produce anything. But when it comes to innovation, I don't think we are anywhere in the top bracket. Check out how many patents the IITs bring out every year. It's quite pathetic. And yet, it is Indians who are doing so well in Silicon Valley, and Asian kids score so highly in foreign countries. Then what is happening in our country that is, in some ways, tying our children's hands down? It is because the methods we use in our school do not breed for innovation. For example, a simple thing, you ask a child to take out an exercise book, they refer to it as copies. A copy is something that you copy from. Again, the simple use of the word copy as a book indicates that we are copiers and not innovators. Now, because our system of learning is based on rote, we are not we don't learn practical skills. And the reason is, our system is plagued by a low student-teacher ratio, high dropout rates, lack of transportation, lack of practical learning. And therefore, I think it's very important with the new education policy to look at innovation. Also, I think the intense focus on testing takes away a lot of innovative time in schools. And the current method of measuring success to see how much a student has crammed it comes in the way of creativity and innovation in several ways. Now, sticking strictly to grades keeps many students from reaching their full potential and puts pressure on others to accomplish academically that they are not ready for. And also, in too many schools, teachers are tied down to a rigid, precise curriculum. Yes, innovation is about doing things differently. When I think of innovation, I think of phrases like doing it another way, freedom to experiment, being encouraged to try new things, not being criticized or for failing or trying new things. This copybook syndrome has to go. encouraging different approaches, less external control, allowing for mistakes to be made and to learn from these mistakes. Teachers wanting it in some other way. A lot of teachers say, no, you must do the sum my way. You must put this answer my way, the way I've given it to you. We need to be encouraged to be different, to be individuals, to self-express, accepting other answers, different methods. Uh, Innovation is currently a very popular term in education, and creating a culture of innovation is imperative. But defining what innovation looks like in practical terms is not always easy. In general, innovation in education includes an emphasis, as you said, Gagori, on teamwork, interdisciplinary studies, individuality, hands-on learning. Innovation is driven by curiosity, by creativity, looking for opportunities, having a non-judgmental attitude, and making innovation a core value in the school. Innovation is not a process that one develops overnight and can be used immediately. Instead, it is a mindset, a mind cultivation pattern that occurs through constant engagement with classroom culture and clear expectations. If necessary, teachers can begin gradually with a single innovative assignment to see how students engage with the material. Then they can start the process of building innovation in the classroom. Innovation is a whole school approach. It cannot be done by one teacher in the corner of the school. It is this higher thinking that has to transfer to the real world. Now, a solid education begins, I think, at home, much before a child attends school. To develop a child's love for learning and foster creativity, parents need to create a home environment that supports problem solving, idea development, a sense of individuality. And you can do this, by involving children in helping out with the family, helping out with chores, helping out with work in the family, cleaning and washing. I think some things we need to remember is, while facts are essential, understanding and applying these concepts are much better than understanding facts. The other thing is looking for opportunities everywhere. Reading with children, helping them with their schoolwork, are distinct activities which parents should engage in. It promotes innovation, learning, encourage children to cook, as I say, using new recipes. Chemistry starts in the kitchen, encouraging self-reliance and dependence. So children become, they become natural problem solvers. Even being responsible for simple chores at home promotes creativity. Also taking advantage of what we have in the world, libraries, concerts, plays, musical entertainments, parks. There's a lot of learning that can take place outside the classroom. Abundant resources, which I think we all need to take advantage of. Also, how do we create creativity? For example, there should be a practical learning approach rather than just explain on a blackboard a convex lens. I think there's so much implication of convex lenses in nature, in lakes and ponds. We can either teach it in the class or take them out into a lab, where they can use it practically. There's also got to be a change of mindset. How would you create an innovative learning environment if you have been teaching traditionally through notes? A teacher who's passionate about a subject will find interesting ways to explain a topic. Students will start to follow and think out of the box. Teachers need to change their mindset and think of students as leaders. Teachers who give notes will not create innovative students. Also, self-evaluation, which means self-reflection and evaluation in the classroom, can help you come up with some innovative teaching methods and get a good response from the students. Teaching is a challenging profession where one has to be innovative with ourselves to create an innovative learning environment. Open-ended questions, questions that don't require yes or no answer, which leads to discussion, which leads to debate, which leads to people differing, not agreeing. This is important, open-ended questions. Also, an environment has to be created where every sort of student fits in. The introverts are good for research work quietly. The extroverts are very, very good at open discussion. I think teachers must plan lessons where every type of student, introverts, extroverts, all get a chance to actually show themselves. Also developing a problem-solving type of skill. Problems finding is the first step in problem solving. So innovative teaching strategies involve helping your students to find problems and then fixing it. Teachers can encourage students to ask critical questions and find real-life problems and solutions. Also, they will fail. Any innovator, look at Edison. I mean, he has so many failures to his, and yet so many discoveries and inventions to his name. So teaching children to fail and accepting failure is a part of their learning. I think I love the flipped classroom method. It's a very, very innovative method. Rather than spending time teaching, let them learn and we question them and have debate in the classroom. I think the flipped classroom is a tremendous innovative tool. Design thinking, one of the most groundbreaking creative teaching ideas is to include the design thinking process for effective classroom learning. There are numerous advantages, starting from, they teach children to be hardworking and resilient, teaches students to have a growth mindset. They shape a solution-oriented mindset. Including the design thinking process in classroom will enable students to develop the mindset to thrive in the next century. Now, briefly, I want to just end by saying that innovation in a classroom develops when you empower children to have an active voice in the role they have as educators. They have to be a part of what they want to learn. Also, when teachers give assignments that are open-ended and not surrounded by constraints. Thirdly, when we reward effort and attitude and not just results. And the last one is to have, as Gagori mentioned, an interdisciplinary approach. Because in life, maths is not separate from science, and history is not different from learning. Subjects are interrelated, and we must build on each other. This whole correlative effect is very, very important. We cannot divide learning into these compartments called subjects. This is very easy to plan in a school, but it's not the way children learn. So these are a few of my thoughts on how we can promote innovative thinking in a classroom. And with that, Gagori, I am going to be passing this over to you. I look forward to the views of our panelists and Archit. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for those wonderful, wonderful deliberations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to discuss this topic further, we do have a wonderful panel lined up for you today. But before we start with the panel discussion, a little bit about us here at Notebook. We at Notebook are an edtech platform that creates short videos pertaining to the school curriculum. This means that every topic from every subject of the school syllabus has been converted into a series of short videos that can be used in two different cases. One is when you as a teacher are starting out a topic in your classroom, you can play one of these videos as a method of visually introducing the topic to your students. These videos are just 6 to 10 minutes in duration and take up very little of your class time while offering the right kind of material to students to generate curiosity and excitement. The second is when the student is studying at home months later, they have access to the same videos on their personal devices, be it a laptop or a smartphone. They can watch the videos over and over again until they get a very clear understanding of the topic that you had taught. What I'm going to do now is play you a mashup of Notebook videos so that you know what they exactly look like.
The Tariq or Tawariq recorded the rule of the administrators. They were written in Persian. The authors of these Tawariq or histories were city dwellers.
We wake up in the morning. We brush our teeth and take a bath in the morning. I hope you take bath in the morning and are not a lazy goose.
विद्यालय के सभी छात्रों को सूचित किया जाता है कि आगामी 20 अगस्त को हमारे विद्यालय का क्रिकेट टूर्नामेंट शुरू होने वाला है.
Nasiruddin picked up his bow and arrow for the third time. He aimed at his target and shot at it. However, luckily this time, his arrow hit the target.
Meteorites, on the other hand, are chunks of rocks floating around the sun. Sometimes They collapse near the earth. When this happens, the air heats up and a flash of light can be seen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a small part of some of our videos, as you just now saw. We have today connected with 500 schools and have had millions of students and teachers benefit from our videos. If you head over to our website, www.notebook.school, you would find all such videos at your disposal. If you want notebook in your school, please do get in touch with our sales team at sales@notebook.school. But now it is time to introduce the wonderful panelists that we have with us today. Mrs. Reeta, ma'am, Principal, MPS Jaipur, Rajasthan. Ma'am is a principal, educator, teacher trainer, mentor, and content developer for CBSE, resource person for CBSE and RBSE, QMS lead auditor. She is the treasurer of Jaipur Sahodaya School Complex, member of School Management Committee of St. Edmund School, Subodh Public School, Rambagh, Jaipur, executive member in Department of Science and Technology, Rajasthan, member of the Core Committee on Jaipur Declaration, making schools safe for children in Rajasthan, ambassador for Clean India Campaign, Jaipur. Her contribution in the fields of education and social service has won many accolades and felicitations, including President APJ Abdul Kalam Enlightened Citizen Award, Life Empowerment Awards for Schools, Indian Art and Culture, Avandika Honors, Rotary Club, Lions Club, Exceptional Women Award from Women Economic Forum. Ma'am, a very good evening and welcome to the panel. Next, we have with us Dr. Reeta Sharma, ma'am, Principal, BK Senior Secondary School, Bulandshahr, Uttar Pradesh. A wonderful and flawless resource person to CBC Center of Excellence, Noida and Center of Excellence, Dehradun. Ma'am has dedicated her life for the upliftment of the students, the society, weaved in the blend SGD4, quality education, and SDG11, sustainable cities and communities. As a professional of repute, she has won many awards to her credit, which includes the award for outstanding contribution in education presented by Mr. Anurag Tripathi, Secretary CBSE by Sahodaya School Complex, Noida in 2022. She's a lady of mission and vision and is fond of writing poetry. Ma'am, a very, very good evening and welcome to the panel. We also have with us, good evening, ma'am, very good evening. We also have with us Mrs. Meenu Bhatt, ma'am, Head Principal and Director, JB Memorial Manas Academy, Prithvirgarh, Uttarakhand. She has over 32 years of experience as a principal and city coordinator. She holds an MA and a BA and has won the Best Principal Award for 3 times now. Ma'am, a very good evening and welcome to the panel. If I can start with Dr. Reeta Sharma, ma'am, please. Ma'am, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to the panel. This is your first time to the panel, and so a heartiest welcome to our panel.
Very beautiful.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my question to you would be, how is promotion of innovation connected with the child's progress and development, and how is promotion of innovation taken care of in your school?
A very beautiful good evening to each and everyone presented here. Really, it's a good chance to meet all the eminent scholars and scholastic personalities on this floor of notebooks. And really, it's the very fantastic and it's the need of the hour to talk on this topic, what you have chosen, digital learning or promotion of innovation. Really, it's a very good time that when we talk digital learning, on the one hand, you are talking about the Atmanirbhar Bharat. We are just talking about the Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. We are just talking about the start of India. And what a beautiful question you have raised here, that how we are just making the children growth, how we are promoting the innovation in our institution. So let me start from the, I think, NEP. So as far as it is concerned to the national education policy, where we are talking about the holistic growth of the students, we are talking about the 21st century skills, 21st century learners. We are talking about the experiential learning. We are talking about the art integration. So according to me, it must be the school's vision and mission that we must promote innovation, ICT, and entrepreneur mindset for I think, as one of the major objectives. So without ideation, innovation, and entrepreneur mindset, we can't go ahead, and we will not able to implement the right and bright essence of NEP. So as far it is concerned, that in this pandemic time, after the pandemic time, when it was the black swan event, but after pandemic we have thought, and everybody knows that COVID has given what it means. This is the era of tech, or we must die. So we should think upon that when we talk, as our sir has talked already, flipped classroom, blended learning. Really, without it, it cannot be that our vision and mission cannot be fulfilled. If we are just talking about, that our CBSE is also emphasizing that what kind of LMS system you are following. We can't run our institution without the ed tech solution. If we are having these kind of solution in our school, really we will go ahead and we will just give our contribution, fantastic contribution for growing our institution in the right kind or in the best possible manner. So let's start, as it is the vision and mission of NEP, that 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So if I am just talking about the foundational stage, from the very starting, as we open the pages of foundational stage, we find that FLN system is there. So how? That survey is going on via Shuffle. So in most of the schools, CBSE has just provided a Shuffle program, Shuffle pilot program, and right now it will be just implemented with the heart and soul by CBSE in all of the schools. Now the pilot program, it has been finished. So what is Shuffle? Shuffle, it means what? Class 3rd, 5th, and 8th. Actually, what will be the real outcome and what our students are learning? So from the foundational stage, when we are just talking about the FLN, we have to just think that our students, how they are thinking in a critical way, how they are just solving the problems, how they will be creative, how they will be innovative. So as far as it is concerned, that in which way they will be innovative and what kind of innovative plannings we have to implement in our classroom, question arises here. So while just attaining the learning objectives and learning outcome of the student in the classroom, we have to just to prepare our lesson plan in that way, where we will just find an ample space for games, for stories, for sports activities, for, I should say, that rich cultural traditional toys. We have to create these kind of innovative plans. We have to create, we have to think, and these kind of plannings we have to put in our lesson plan. So this is the one of the phase, that if we are just doing, we are creating these kind of lesson plans in our classroom, where we are just giving the ample space for creating the stories, for creating the games, for creating the I should say that the scope for critical thinking. We are just giving the puzzles to the students. We are just providing the best floor for how to just tell the story. So these kind of innovative teaching learning process, if we are just following in our classroom, inside the classroom, then really we are working upon the floor of digital learning. So this is the one aspect. Now we are just talking about the preparatory just classroom, where we are just, I have talked it up to 5, and then after +3 in preparatory classroom, as sir has also talked about that out of the box thinking. So in this just stage, we have to think for the gamification, case studies that cannot be done without the help of flipped classroom and blended classroom. So we have to just think for the case studies also, we have to think for the design thinking also, we have to just thinking for the stickers, signs. So as far as it is concerned for the preparatory stage, where we have to create such kind of lesson plan, where in the classroom we may create the good fantastic lesson plan with the help of gamification. These kind of I should say that it cannot be done without the help of fantastic ad tech solution. It is very, very important, because right now, if we have to work with the real learning outcome, So just the concept of blended learning and flipped classroom, where we may just get a proper space for each and every, I should say that we have a different kind of students in our class. Some are kinesthetic, some are visuals. That some are just that they are very happy with listening the things, but some are others, they are very happy with doing the things. I should say that experiential learning. So real experiential learning lies in the visualization, especially class fifth. So now the things, so if we are just talking about the digital learning, if we are just talking about the promotion of innovation as per national education policy, so we have to just think without the, if we are showing our failure in the implementation of gamification, things cannot be fulfilled in the right kind of manner. Now we are just thinking other three classes for middler wing. In the middler wing, it has been already said by CBSE that we have to save the 2 hours per week to compulsory tinkering activities. So if we are not providing that 2 hours per week to just compulsory for compulsory tinkering activities, it cannot be possible. Where what we have to do, where we have to give the problem, how they will identify the problems, and then it's the duty of a teacher, and I should say that it will be the actual lesson plan for those middle students, where we have to give the expansion for them, where we have to just give the exposure to our students. So we have to just think that what kind of compulsory tinkering activities we are putting in our lesson plan, how the students are preparing the self-organized learning environment. We have to create that, so that curiosity we have to create. After that, they will create their own floor. And as far as we are concerned, that we as a teacher are not a mentor of in 21st century, we are as a facilitator, where 70% learning just it happens from the side of the students, and 30% it happens from the side of the teacher. So how it will be possible? It will be possible that if we are preparing our students so that they may identify the problem, and then after we will involve them with the local issues. What are the local issues in their communities, in their society? So what will happen? They will be very much attached, and they will get and a perfect adherence with that problems, and it will be discussed in the classroom. So now from this point of view, we need even one thing is more, sometimes it happens we don't have a time, that a big lesson plan, it will take a lot of time. From that point of view, CBSE has already that said that 10 days will be the bagless days. So when we are just talking about the 10 days bagless days, in that thing we may just promote we must promote these kind of lesson plan. We should train our teachers. We should just promote these kind of innovation technology, or I should say that these kind of that I should say that experiential learning must be done not only for the students but for the teachers also. For example, if I am talking about the corporate world, if we are not showing any innovation even in infrastructure also, then we become bored and we feel that monotony. So the same happens if a teacher who's working in your institution, he has been working more than 10 years, and if you are not showing any kind of promotion, he will say, okay, the same thing, I am also working here more than 1 decade I have spent, but what you have learned. So every time when we just say change is the law of nature, so really that is the innovation strategy, what directly tells us that the innovation is the another name of change, and without change there is no life. I should say, it's my own view. So now I am just talking about for the senior classes in senior grade, as 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 I am talking about. So already CBSE has said that all the schools are required to register themselves on SIC, School Innovation Cell, where you will just exchange, you can exchange your ideas also. You can just share your ideas also, and you can learn a lot. You will get a lot of exploration. You will find, you will explore yourself. And I should say that another question is that how you are implementing those things in our institution. So there are different things. First of all, we may just do a different kind of tours also, especially for senior classes of students. We can just have a industrial visit also. We may call sometimes we call our alumni also, those who are the good entrepreneur in different fields. So they share their own ideas, they give their own vision, they create their own mission. So these kind of motivational talks work a lot for the benefit or for the upliftment of the students also, and for the new teachers also in our institution. So we are just doing, we are just attached with some NGOs also, that our institution is attached with IQF. So IQF, it is just working for the upliftment of moral values. They provide the yoga classes also at the due course of interval. They provide a lot of, I should say, that motivational speakers. Sometimes we just have online classes with them. They have a boot camp also. So these kind of things we have. So by doing these kind of strategy, by following these kind of teaching learning process for each and every wing, we are doing the fantastic thing in our school. But after all, always scope remains for the betterment. Really, we are just doing for making the things, or we are getting some out of the box thinking also, doing the work. So this was from my side, and I hope that you would have liked this my ideas. That's all. Thank you. It was, I am just summing up
Absolutely,
my
ma'am. Thank you so much. Ma'am, I'll just take a few more minutes from you, if it's okay. Ma'am, you mentioned about the wonderful role of NEP, like 2 hours per week compulsory tinkering activities. So as a very senior academician and been in education for such a long time, what do you think can be added on to the NEP or school curriculum to make the innovation system more robust in schools, or maybe compulsory?
Yes, ma'am. It is, you are just asking that school innovation cell for two. I just want to repeat your question once again. Once again, your question must be repeated.
Yes, yes, ma'am. My question is, what are your suggestions
Okay.
if something is left out for NEP, for inclusion in the NEP, or anything more which like individual schools also can do for making
Yes.
the.
Actually, ma'am, what we have done as before pandemic and after, you know, that right now we are having, and I think might be my friends will be just agreed with this point, that we got a lot of circular early in the morning. So earlier it was happening that every school was preparing his own school calendar. So right now, what we are just doing, whatever activities CBSE has planned already, and 2 or 3 years have gone. So what we have just done, we have left our school calendar. With the help of those 3 years activities, we have created a new school calendar with the help of those circulars and notices what we get from the CBSE. So what happens already? We are house system. Every school has a house system also, club activities also. So right now, whatever activities they were just doing, it means before this, I should say that before this NEP. So right now, school calendar, we have inculcated our all strategy teaching learning process, they have inculcated with our school calendar. So what is happening, we are having the ample time to implement those strategy under the banner of house system also, under the banner of club system also, and that of school parliament. So whatever practices we are doing, we are just having that ideation, that innovation ideation, how our students will do. And so that our school calendar is having all the activities, and with the help of that minute, I should say, that minute survey, or I should say that when we prepare our school calendar, we have a proper eye for time management also, for syllabus also, for lesson plan also. So it takes a time, but it's not impossible. Second thing, motivation always works. It is the big booster. So what we do, as we have just created a club also right now in our school, we have created a one content creator committee. We have just created, we are just saying, as in English, we have created a comfortable community, comfortable communicative committee we have created in our department of school. It has been created. So where if debate is happening, then we will just take one idea. As right now, as per the calendar, it has been created from the side of the school. So we are just selecting our content that this time debate will just happen for enhancement of digital learning. This time the topic will be of the experiential learning. So what is happening? Our students and the teachers both are just quite comfortable, and things are going slowly but steadily. It's going on. So we have just tried in our school, and I should just share one thing also, especially for preparatory, especially for a foundational stage, what we have just done. My school is situated in the lap of beautiful nature. Got a chance to come in my institution in future time. You will just see the fantastic greenery over there. So early in the morning, once I was in the school, it was the time of 5:30 early in the morning, 5 a.m. early in the morning. So what we have done, it was the beautiful birds chirping, and then you know that it was just looking that really it's the paradise here. So what I did, I just recorded the melodious, echoing of all the birds, and then my nursery kids, all my Balvatika students, we have just put in that projector, and all were very happy that it was the learning overview. I should say that was the morning overview of your institution, which has become the learning aspect amidst of the nature. So these kind of little, just think about that, think out of the box thinking. So if you will just see, so now what was happening, our students was just, we were trying to instill a love for nature by doing these kind of activities. So these kind of things we do generally in our school.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those wonderful deliberations. Ladies and gentlemen, due to some connectivity issues, the other panelists couldn't join today. It was a very heartwarming and wonderful discussion today with Philip Burrett starting off and setting the goals and the everything. It was really nice hearing him like every other time. And he mentioned that so many beautiful points, including the copybook syndrome. It was really wonderful. And he also mentioned the point that while facts are essential, understanding and applying those are also important. Sir, thank you so much for your input. So, coming to Dr. Reeta Sharma, ma'am, I think you had covered it all on behalf of all the panelists today. Your deliberation was so much detailed. You're speaking about the mission and vision, the importance of EdTech mostly, and about surveys, about different curriculums, and about different activities, and how NEP, even like how NEP has given importance to the concept of innovation, and how we are inculcating those in our kids in schools. And you have mentioned about different class, segment-wise you have mentioned that lower class, middle class, upper class. So it was really nice listening to you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Stay connected, stay tuned. Good
Thank
evening.
you. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.